How are you doing? You alright?
Yeah, I'm not too bad.
What are you up to?
Can I ask you why you're engaged in me?
Stop there a minute.
Why?
I'm just trying to identify who you are because you've got your face covered and you've... what's your name, please, sir?
I don't have to give you my name.
Okay, well, at this moment in time, we believe that you might well be wanted. Okay.
So,
Well, we'll cross that bridge in a minute once we've confirmed it. So that's why we need to identify who you are. It's all right. We'll do it another way. Just bear with us a second.
You start with your first name, please, sir.
I don't believe I have to provide your name.
Okay. Well, I believe that you're wanted, right? Okay. Just by your description alone, right? So I believe that you're wanted off a briefing that I've received today, right? So we can do it one of two
Wanted
ways.
for what?
Well, wanted for an offence.
What offence?
Well, wanted for an offence of harassment, actually. So I need to check you out in order to see A, if it is you, or B, if it isn't you, right? And if it isn't you, I'll bid you good day and off you go.
From the very start, the officer's approach is troubling. He stops the auditor based only on a vague morning briefing. No clear description, no defined crime, just a blanket assumption. Rather than explain the stop, he jumps straight into demanding personal details without any valid reason. That isn't policing. It's guesswork in uniform. When the auditor refuses to give his name, the officer says, "If it's not you, I'll let you go." That line alone exposes the broken logic, placing the burden on a citizen to prove they're not guilty of something undefined. But in the UK, that's not the standard. Officers must have clear, specific grounds for a stop, not vague hunches or sweeping alerts.
So if we start with your first name, or are we going to have to get a fingerprint scanner down here and find out who you are, or take you down to custody to try and identify you because you refuse to give me details?
I haven't committed an offence.
Okay, so if you haven't committed any offences, can I start with your first name, please, sir?
I don't need to give you my first name.
Okay, well, I believe you to be Christopher Green, and I'm detaining you currently.
I am not Christopher Green.
Right, okay,
that's fine. You'll be
that's
through
fine, but you're currently being detained up until the point I can establish who you are. You're refusing to give me some details, so I need to establish who you are.
Please ask you to identify yourself?
Yeah, I'm PC 17768 Neil Williams.
And you, please?
Sergeant 15563.
Thank you.
Right,
which
okay,
station?
Can we make
West
it nice and easy for us and start giving just the first name, please?
Can I ask you which station you're from?
Yeah, I work at Withenshaw Police Station, work part of the X Department and part of the Transport Unit for Great Manchester Police.
Thank you.
Okay?
Yep.
So we're going to start with your name then, please. And if there's nothing wrong, then we'll send you on your way.
When the officer suddenly declares, "I believe you to be Christopher Green," the entire encounter changes tone. The auditor calmly denies it, yet the officer presses forward, not to confirm identity, but to assert authority. This was never about finding a suspect. It was about challenging someone who dared to exercise their rights. The auditor wasn't evasive, hostile, or obstructive. He simply refused to hand over his name without a lawful reason. That's not suspicious behavior. That's a right. What's more troubling is the officer publicly naming someone as a wanted individual without any verified match. Under the UK GDPR and the Data Protection Act 2018, personal data must be handled with strict care. Dropping a full name in public, tied to a criminal allegation without certainty, isn't just sloppy. It risks defamation and could be unlawful. In this case, both the auditor and the real Christopher Green had their reputations dragged into question, all for nothing.
It's not Christopher Green.
Okay.
100 Alpha.
And what is your name, please? And have you got anything to identify yourself?
I don't believe I have to answer these questions.
Right. You don't believe that you have to? Right. Okay. Well, I believe you to be wanted, right? So make it easy for us. Give us your details, identify yourself, show me some identification.
I don't believe I have to identify myself.
Well, you do.
We could arrest you, take you to custody and put you on a live scan machine. There's a necessity, if you're not giving your name and address, for us to verify who you are if we believe you to be wanted from the information we've got. So you can
I don't have to do that. You've not provided me with any grounds for an arrest.
Right, take your hands out your pocket so I can see them. I need to identify you. trying to make it easy for you here, sir. So what I want,
I'm not in
what I want
any
is,
threat to you.
no,
guys.
no, not at all.
No, I'm not.
You had your hands in your pockets, and I don't know who you are.
Even after publicly detaining the auditor, the officer still can't point to a concrete reason. No defined crime, no clear evidence, just a flimsy claim about a description. When the auditor reasonably asks for the legal basis of the stop, the officer pivots. Suddenly, the focus shifts to the auditor's hands in his pockets. It's not a safety concern. It's a distraction tactic to mask the lack of lawful grounds. Then comes the slip that exposes everything. I don't know who you are. That single line strips away the facade. This wasn't a targeted stop. It wasn't about crime. It was about unfamiliarity being treated as suspicion, and suspicion being used as a substitute for lawful justification. In policing terms, that's not proactive. It's arbitrary.
No,
Up until the point that you identify yourself, make it easy for us, and if it isn't you, and I can establish who you are, and I can clearly identify you, then I'll send you on your way. Right, okay. But by you being obstructive at the moment...
I'm not being obstructive.
Well, you are, because you're refusing to provide some details.
No, because I don't believe lawfully that I have to give you those details because I haven't committed any offence of harassment. I'm sorry.
Right, okay. Well, I believe you to be wanted, so I want you to, I need you to identify yourself in order for me to make those inquiries. And once I make those inquiries and find out that you are either wanted or you're free to go, I will then send you on your way. Okay? Oh, no, don't, no, excuse me, I'm speaking.
You've asked me whether I'm Christopher Green, and I've said I'm not Christopher Green.
Right, and all I'll say to you is, right, identify yourself, because
stop giving me orders.
I'm the police here.
Speak to me respectfully.
I have done. I've tried.
Speak to me respectfully.
What I'll say to you is, you're not going anywhere up until the point that I can clearly identify you. Okay.
Right, but please continue.
There you go.
To speak to me respectfully. Okay.
So what's your name, please?
To speak to you always
start
respectfully.
With your name, please.
Throughout the exchange, the auditor stays calm, measured, and firmly within his rights, making it clear he hasn't broken any law and doesn't owe ID without legal cause. The officer, instead of matching that professionalism, snaps. He barks, "No, I'm the police here!" But shouting a badge number or a title doesn't make unlawful conduct suddenly lawful. It only exposes a loss of control. Volume replaces reason. Intimidation replaces procedure. At that moment, it's no longer about public safety. It's about ego and forcing compliance through pressure. And when an officer defaults to emotion over law, it doesn't strengthen their authority. It undermines it. It shows the stop isn't driven by facts, but by frustration. And that raises real questions about
I'm not giving you my name.
Right, have you got any ID on you?
I'm not. I don't have to do this.
The problem is, we suspect you of an offence.
Sorry mate, why do you believe that you don't have to do this?
Because I don't believe I've committed a criminal offence.
Right, okay. Well then make it easy for me, sir, right?
I don't have to make anything easy for you.
Yeah, you do, unfortunately.
No, I don't.
Why are you being so obstructive? If you're not committed any offence, we can check your details then.
I don't have to discuss anything with you.
Why are you trying to avoid it?
I'm not trying to avoid anything.
Because it's going to be a long process for you if we have to take you to custody and put you on one of them live scan machines to find out who you are.
Well,
so it'll be a lot straightforward if you just give us your details. We can check if you want or not. If you're not, absolutely fine, which is what you're saying.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying I'm not Christopher Green, and I'm saying I've not committed offensive harassment.
Who are you then?
I've just told you I don't believe that I have to give you that information.
The auditor isn't being awkward or obstructive. He's simply standing firm on his rights. Choosing not to hand over personal details without a valid legal reason isn't defiance. It's the very freedom police are supposed to safeguard. But instead of respecting that, the officer shifts gears and applies pressure. He warns the auditor about a long custody process, not because the law requires it, but as punishment for non-compliance. That's not enforcement, it's coercion. His mention of the live scan machine makes it even clearer. This isn't about confirming identity through lawful grounds. It's about weaponizing inconvenience as leverage. And in doing so, the officer proves the auditor's point. True authority is rooted in law and professionalism, not in threats or intimidation.
And if I do, then I can give it to your desk sergeant, or I can give it to a judge.
Please, so I can see exactly who you are.
No.
I'm going to let go of your arm now, yeah? Okay. What I don't want you to do is I don't want you to be putting your hands in your pockets,
Promise
right?
you I won't do that.
Okay, because I need to be
Promise you I won't
satisfied
do
that
that.
you've
I'm
not
not
got
gonna do
something
that.
that can harm me or anyone else.
I promise you there's nothing in my
Right, okay.
pockets that could harm you.
It is, isn't it? Boss. Boss.
Do you want to go and have a look at that picture? I'll stay here.
So guys, it looks like I'm going to be arrested here. We'll just turn this off.
Right, you're under arrest on suspicion of harassment.
According to the evidence, unlawfully arrested. I've now passed the case on to HNK, and they are currently considering all of the information before they either accept or reject the case, and I'll let you know what happens there, guys.
This incident is the clearest example yet of what happens when guesswork replaces good policing. The officer never gave a lawful reason for the stop, yet kept demanding ID. When the auditor, well within his rights, declined, the officer chose arrest over reason. No crime, no grounds, just poor judgment. The auditor, known as Autistic Audit, was peacefully filming outside the BBC, which is completely legal. But officers escalated off a vague briefing and an unconfirmed description. The lead officer even spoke aloud the name Christopher Green without proof, a serious breach of privacy. As the auditor calmly asked for justification, one officer snapped, No, I'm the police here." That wasn't authority. It was frustration. Another officer leaned on custody threats, not the law, trying to force compliance through pressure. The result? An arrest without solid ID, without evidence, and without lawful cause. But it backfired. HNK solicitors took the case and the auditor won. That victory was more than personal. It showed that policing without accountability carries consequences. This case is a reminder. Rights matter, privacy matters, and taxpayers shouldn't pay for mistakes made out of ego instead of professionalism. Thanks for watching. If you found this breakdown valuable, like, comment, and subscribe. And check out Autistic Audit. His link is in the description. See you in the next one.